Alright guys, welcome back. Today I want to show you what the new Ragnaraika cards can do for Rikka, which is the deck they will most likely be used in, not on their own, but actually, and I want to make this point in this video, this is a very strong engine that complements Rikka quite well, and in the OCG as well as in Master Duel, with us having a triple Dryas and 2 Sunvine Healer, we are definitely in a very nice position. We will talk about the deck list afterwards, because I think this is actually kind of a good deck now. I will show you the combo that you can do with one Ragnaraika, the Evil Seed, and Ragnaraika is kind of like Fiendsmith for this deck, though there is one specific, I guess, limitation here that I will mention in a moment that makes it a bit worse. But it's actually crazy what this can do, and you will understand when I show you the combo and also what the deck list looks like, because we have a lot of space for non-engine, for hand traps, for board breakers if you want to play that. This is very effective, so let's talk about this. By the way, if you like my videos, please consider subscribing, hitting a thumbs up and the notification bell. This would help me out a lot, especially the notification bell, guys. Thanks in advance. So we are starting with one Ragnaraika, the Evil Seed, normal summon here, but keep in mind that we can also special summon this card from our hand by sending one insect, plant or reptile monster from our hand to the graveyard, which means that we can, for example, use this. So what we want to end up on with this deck, we can quickly take a look at the deck list, I guess, to explain to you what we want to achieve here. So our basic starter is our Loci, Sunseed Genius Loci. We have triple of them, so this starts the entire combo. We have 3 Sunseed Genius Loci, and then we have 3 Ragnaraika, the Evil Seed, which is basically, or which gets us into the Loci. Then we have triple Unexpected Die, which gets us into the Loci. So everything here is designed to get us into the Loci, basically. We have 9 starters, 9 1-card starters, you could say, and we have a 1-for-1, so 10. This is kind of like Snake Eyes, honestly. We have a lot of 1-card starters that get us into the entire combo line, and this is what our Ragnaraika, the Evil Seed, also does. So what I want to mention here is that you can keep in mind, we can also special summon this, so we can try to make our opponent use their hand traps on our Ragnaraika stuff here, because they want to not let us get into our Genius Loci here. And let's, for example, say we have Ragnaraika in the hand and also a Loci normal summon, then we could bait out hand traps with the Ragnaraika special summon, and then if the hand traps, Ash Blossoms, Imperms, and so on are out of our opponent's hand, then we can just normal summon the Loci and do our entire combo line nevertheless, which is kind of like using a Diabell Star or a Bonfire, special summon something, this something gets hit with an Imperm, for example, or an Ash Blossom, and then you just normal summon your Snake Eye Ash. So kind of like the same idea. So Ragnaraika, the Evil Seed, we are going to normal summon this guy. This is just insane, and we can add 2 different Ragnaraika cards from our deck to the hand, and then we need to banish one, which is not a problem, because the engine basically wants to get banished. So obviously we are only playing a little engine here. We're playing triple Ragnaraika, Evil Seed, 1 Samurai Beetle, and 1 Ragnaraika Bloom, as well as the Link 2 Skeletal Soldier. So we are not really playing Ragnaraika here, but this is just like a complementary engine for our Rikka deck. And then we banish the Samurai Beetle. Now we can activate our Continue spell, which can add 1 Ragnaraika monster from a deck to hand, and then we can discard one, or we can special summon one of our banished Ragnaraika monsters, or insects, plants, or reptiles, I guess. No, it's Ragnaraika. Okay, so we special summon the Samurai Beetle. Now we can make the Link 2 in the Skeletal Soldier, and if Ragnaraika Samurai Beetle is used for the Link summon, we can activate it and special summon either him or the Seed back. We are summoning him back, and then Skeletal Soldier also says we can target one Ragnaraika monster in our graveyard, special summon it in defense position. And here is where this engine is basically like the Fiendsmith engine, honestly, besides one very important point, actually. So we are starting with 1 card, the Ragnaraika Evil Seed. We can also special summon the Ragnaraika Evil Seed, so we don't need to use our normal summon if we have the right hand cards. And this basically generates a Link 2 and then 2 additional bodies. This is like Fiendsmith, because Fiendsmith generates this Link 2 here, the Fiendsmith sequence, and then 2 additional bodies. And we also have this here for follow-up. The difference here, unfortunately, is that obviously what would be very nice, this would be so crazy if this would be possible, and I wish they would have done it like this to make the plan deck even stronger. This is an engine that can basically, or could basically, get you into an Appaloosa, because at this point you can just make an Appaloosa and then still normal summon the Loki and go through your entire combo line and be protected by a triple material Appaloosa. This would be insane. Unfortunately, by the effect of the Evil Seed, we are locked into summoning insect, plants, or reptiles. So as long as they don't make an Appaloosa, insect, plant, or reptile, this is unfortunately not as good at Fiendsmith, because Fiendsmith you could use to make an Appaloosa at this point if you wanted to do so, but unfortunately we can't. But still, we have a lot of advantage accrued through this engine. So how does this combo now continue? Now we are going to link into Aromatherapy Jasmine. We can tribute one card that points to the Jasmine to summon a plant from the deck. And this summons the Lone Fire Blossom here. And now we are tributing the Lone Fire Blossom. Oh yeah, I made a mistake. You have to summon the Lone Fire Blossom at the right spot here, on the right, not in the middle. This is important later on. So let me just quickly skip through where we already have been. So this is everything we did just to get into our Rikka engine here, into our Sunseed Loci engine. And yeah, we are making the revive, and then we are making the Aromatherapy Jasmine tribute. And once again, this is very important, summon it on the right position here, because this is later on important for the level modulation. And this can now get us into our Loci here. We can use this effect to tribute another plant, and then we can summon the Sunseed Genius Loci. And now we are basically in our normal combo line. Or maybe we had this in hand already and can normal summon this now. So Loci, as always, basically goes into a Dryas, and Dryas can then, because it was made with the Loci, search Sunvine Soaring. We can activate Sunvine Soaring, take 1000 damage, and special summon Sunseed Twin. Then we can activate Sunseed Twin as well as the Sun Avalon Dryas, because we have took damage here. This will add or special summon the Loci back, and this can special summon from the extra deck Sunvine Link monster. So we have this now. This is the basic thing that you always make in Rikka here. If you start with the Sunseed Genius Loci, this is as we always do it. We can link these away for, and this is basic play, the Aromatherapy Jasmine. This the second effect is not once per turn. So once per turn, if you gain life points, add one plant monster from your deck to your hand. This is once per turn, but once per copy. Once per copy meaning that if I make a new copy of this on the field, it can be used once again. So now if we get any life points, we can then search a plant monster from deck to hand. We are linking the twin away into another Sun Avalon Dryas, and then it's very important to link the twin away, not the Loci, because we need this normal monster Loci to make a Sunvine Healer. If a Sun Avalon Link monster you control leaves the field by card effect, destroy this card. If this card is special summoned, we can target one Sun Avalon Link monster on the field, so here the Dryas, and then we gain 300 life points. Now we gain 300, and now the Jasmine will activate because we have gained life points, and we can search our Rikka Princess, our first Rikka monster. Next thing we are going to do is we are going to make another link summon into the Sun Avalon Melias, which on summon can revive the Loci. You know this from the Rikka combo basically. And now we can activate the Skeletal Soldier in the graveyard, which says that we can, if this card is in graveyard, we can target one insect, plant, or reptile monster we control, place it on the bottom of the deck, and we can special summon this card. So we are targeting the Melias to put this back into the extra deck and special summon the Skeletal Soldier. Next thing we are going to do is banish Sunseed Twin. Then we have to banish one of our link monsters on the field as well, the Dryas in this case, and we can summon a link monster from our graveyard where we have two of them basically. So we have two Aromatherapy Jasmine, which means we can now summon one of them, which is cool because now if we gain life points again, we can search again, right? Because this is once per copy. We have a new copy on the field now. Now we activate Rikka Princess. During the main phase, we can special summon this card from the hand. And the next thing we're going to do is we are going to make another Sun Avalon Dryas. And now because we have triple Sun Avalon Dryas still available and two how is the guy called? The girl. Sunvine Healer. We can once again make a Sunvine Healer. Once again target the Dryas. Once again get 300 life points. And once again trigger the Jasmine here to search our Mudan, which is basically the starting point into our entire Rikka combo here. The next thing we are going to do is link away these here into once again a Sun Avalon Melias, which once again can activate to summon back the Sunseed Genius Loci, which is nice. Then we can make another link summon here into the Sylvan Dance Beyond, activate Dance Beyond's effect. If you hit of these three any plant monsters here, then we can also special summon them. But let's imagine we only hit like imperms, it doesn't really matter, because now we can use the second effect of Dance Beyond. We can target one of the monsters in the graveyard, in this case Rikka Princess, and now the monsters that point to this card basically get the same level as the monster we have targeted, so both of them become level 4, which obviously, and this is why you need to place it here on the right side, which is why I started the replay once again. Now we can make the Rikka Queen Strenna, Rikka, Queen Strenna. We can now link away Dance Peon and the Skeletal Soldier into the Bengal Lancer, which can bounce an opponent's monster or our own monster, quick effect, and we have to take damage in the attack point. We take attack point damage from the monster and then it gets bounced. Now we can activate Strenna, bring back the Lone Fire Blossom, detach it, and then can grab it back to the hand because this is Strenna's effect. Next thing we are going to do is we activate in Mudan, tributing the Strenna. Mudan gets summoned and can search now the field spell as well as the Queen Strenna. When Queen Strenna gets tributed, which was a tribute, then we can special summon from the deck another XYZ monster. In this case, we are special summoning the Hyperiton Beast, and now the Strenna can also detach or attach itself to this guy as a material. This is all very complicated, but if you have done this combo a few times, it's very clear. And now we can activate the Rikka Kong. We can chain the Hyperiton Beast, which if there is a monster special or a trap activated or spell activated, it can attach from the graveyard a card with the same type basically. So we can now attach a spell because we have activated a spell. And now this thing here can negate either a monster by detaching Strenna or a spell by detaching this one here. Now we activate Kong to place the Rikka Sheet, which if you're not aware of what this does, via the Kong we can tribute also opponent's monsters because all of them are plants, and this can, for example, tribute one of our opponent's monsters and then steal one of our opponent's monsters. We also have the Rikka Princess in the graveyard, which is a monster negate that we can activate by tributing one of our plant monsters, either the Mudan, or if we have the Kong still available, we can also tribute one of our opponent's monsters. So as long as the field spell is on the field, basically you have once per turn the opportunity to tribute one of your opponent's monsters to activate either, for example, the Princess here or the Rikka Sheet. And now we basically have our end board ready. And now the funny thing is, you can see we have no cards in our extra deck left. The last one was Aromalith Rosemary, which is also a new card coming within the next pack. And this is our end board, right? We have this spell or monster negate. We have this bounce. We have Rikka Sheet that can tribute a monster and steal a monster. And we have this monster negate Rikka Princess here in our graveyard. And this is just for follow up the Aromalith Rosemary. We can make this guy for follow up, and then it says we can tribute one monster this card points to, then target one card on the field and banish it, and we gain 1000 life points. So obviously we end up on a very strong board if we can play through. And the thing is that we basically need to stop our opponent from playing the game if we land on this board, because our follow-up isn't that great. This is the only downside of this deck, or one of the downsides, the biggest one I guess, of this deck. We don't have a lot of follow-up. We can resummon the Bengal Lancer once from the graveyard if it lands there, and we have this Rosemary for this banish play. We also have the Skeletal Soldier, which can be summoned back. But if our opponent breaks our board and then we have to go once again on the next turn, we have 0 cards in our extra deck if we have already summoned the Rosemary, and then it's really a bit grindy to kill our opponent. So this board that we made here on our first turn really has to stop our opponent. Another thing that we might already or also have on the board is Ragnaraika Hunting Dance, which targets cards your opponent controls up to the number of different monster types among the link monsters you control. In this case, we only have a plant, so 1, and then we can destroy them. So if, for example, we already start with the bloom in the hand, now we started with, remember, the evil seed that searched the beetle and the bloom, but if we would have started with bloom in hand already, we could have also searched hunting dance, and then we would have an additional interruption. All in all, this makes like 6 interruptions with the hunting dance, 5 without, which can definitely be enough, together with some hand traps in the hand to stop your opponent. And this is the next thing I want to talk about, the amount of hand traps that we can play with in this deck. Let me quickly reconnect here and load the deck up. And this is honestly what I think makes this deck a really viable option, because if we count this now, we are playing 43 cards here. And if we count, we have 3, 6, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Were there more last time I counted? Let me count again. We have 3, 6, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, I was under the impression that there were more, but nevertheless, we have 17 non-engine space, which is definitely a lot. We can play triple effect failure, for example. We can play crossout and 2 call buys. We have the nip just because it's nice to have it with Maxi, but also to cross out it because nip is very, very bad against us. We also have the call buys, obviously, because we need to get our plays through, but then you can use the other spots, like, for example, these spots boards here to just play hand traps. You could also switch this out for, I don't know, another impactful hand trap, maybe a droll. I don't know, we can also use a droll if we get here, if another player drolls us, we can cross out our own droll. But the idea is that we have a lot of high impactful hand traps, because remember the combo we made here, we made with one card in our hand, right? So we have more cards in our hands. We have like maybe MXC, maybe an Ash Blossom, maybe Imperm. So actually this deck is not that bad, because we can kind of play a big amount of non-engine. 17 is definitely not a small amount. 17 is like an amount of hand traps and non-engine that not even Snake Eyes can sometimes play, or close to it basically. And we have 9 1-card starters, 10 1-card starters, 1/1, 3 Unexpected Die, 3 Ragnaraika Evil Seed, and then 3 Sunset Genius Loci, which end up on a board which inherently has 5 negates plus our hand trap negates, maybe more, maybe even 6 negates with the Hunting Dance. So this is actually quite strong. And the list I saw here, for some reason, and this is something I don't understand, if you do understand this, then tell me what is up with this. The list I found, because this is an OCG list, actually played 2 Dimension Shifters, which is obviously very nice. I would put out, I don't know, a Droll and maybe an Effect Vader for this, but I don't really understand how this deck can play Dimension Shifter, because we need to use our graveyard a lot. So I'm not quite sure why we are playing Dimension Shifter here. Maybe I don't understand something. If this deck could also play a Dimension Shifter, this would be crazy. I don't think it can, but maybe I'm missing something here. Let me know in the comments if you are a bit wiser when it comes to that point I just made here. But yeah, then again, once, like I said before, I think this is actually a very strong deck. Going first, this can make quite a good board with a lot of interruptions. We still have a lot of hand traps that we will most likely also draw. We can protect ourselves, our plays here with these non-engine parts. The only downside is that we will use everything up, and you have just seen this on our first turn, and if we can't stop our opponent, then it gets a bit complicated. This is the only downside, and I guess playing into a board is not as easy as just starting first, but then again, we have a lot of hand traps that we can use, so this might just work. Honestly, I think this is kind of a nice deck now. The Ragnaraika engine basically giving us more ability to get into our Sunset Genius Loci play is really, really good. And in the TCG, we are playing these new Aroma cards as well. So if you're not aware, we're also getting the new Aroma cards. And in the TCG plays, basically, I think we are playing triple Rosalina or something. But this is also because, as you can see right here, because this is TCG ban list, this is at 1 and this is at 1, but we don't have these at 1. We have this better version that can play more hand traps and less engine, and this is quite nice. And if you ask me, I'm not quite sure whether this makes sense, but if you ask me, we could also put out, for example, this Mudan here. We could maybe put out this Petal here, and we could in theory put out the Glamour, and maybe the additional, this is something one could try, put out the additional Sunbind Song, so that, because you saw this in the combo, right? We searched the Mudan, we searched the Field Spell, we searched the Sowing, and honestly, if we are not able to search all of these, then it doesn't really matter. If we have this in the hand, it's all right. If we have the Mudan in the hand or the Concon, it's all right. If we have the Sheet in the hand, this doesn't really matter. So we could trim this down to a 39 list and then, for example, play more hand traps, right? So we could play another, I don't know, Droll, or you could play these Dimension Shifters or whatever. So we still have these 9 combo starters with the Ragnaraika, the Loci, and the Unexpected Dice. And this is also combo starter, I guess, because it's a normal summon and summon Loci. But yeah, I think we can also trim down this list even more to make it even more efficient. Maybe I'm missing the point here why we need to double Mudan or something, because we actually only need 1 Mudan, because if we can't stop our opponent going first, then yeah, the game is basically over. So why not put in more hand traps, more non-engine, to basically stop our opponent when we can't go first? So I think this could be like kind of a tier 1 deck. I really have to say it, but I guess bottom tier 1. But let me know in the comments what you think. Maybe I'm tripping here. Maybe this is copium, but I think this is actually quite strong and has a lot of potential. Let me know in the comments. Thanks for being here. I'm very excited for this, honestly, because I have played Rikka before. I have all the Rikka stuff, and even though I thought I didn't really enjoy Rikka, I do really enjoy Rikka, and I guess I will go for the Ragnaraika stuff when we will play this on live stream, but remains to be seen here. Thanks for being here. We will see each other in the next one.